Welcome to Belgian Bikeability. Today we are going to take a ride from the Cultural Center Casino to Meulenberg to Rafnusstraat in Laak. This will take about 25 minutes with public transportation and no transfer, and about 10 minutes with our bicycle. So the bicycle is going to be a very competitive and suitable mode of transportation here. Now, we are now starting at the cultural center that has been built in 1950, so it's already 75 years old, and has been built by the architect called Isha Izgur, a very famous architect that also designed the neighborhood in here, which is a Gardencity neighborhood. Now we are entering the street level in here, so now we are going to the right to the Varenstraat, which has a 1990s design because of resurfacing in the 1990s. Now this was very good design in the 1990s. Today it's worn out. It hasn't had its time. We are now. You have to be very careful in here because of the fact that there's going to be a road bump in here, not an intended one, unfortunately. Then we're going to turn left to the Bremstraat. We are approaching now a roundabout in here. We are going to the right, and there is going to be the right in here. This is on the left side we have the Church of Meulenberg, which also has been built by Isha Izgur, and we are now on the Wildrozenstraat. The Wildrozenstraat is actually a part of some kind of an avenue-like roadway system around the church in here. This has been influenced by the Gardencity movement of the early 1900s, and so we have now a very steep hill in here, so be aware of that. And soon after this hill we are now turning to the right, and we have to be very carefully about here because this is going to be something that we actually call a edge road. It is a displaced edge road in here, in my opinion, because of the fact that these kind of situations can happen. Now, as you see, they have thought that this was a good idea to put actually the sewer in the middle of the road. This wasn't a great idea. This is a very steep road bump for cyclists, not necessary. For cars, maybe this has been designed to slow down cars. That's a possibility, that they thought that this would be a great thing. Now, if we are riding now at the Mooksteeg, which is in the beginning an edge road, it ends up being a normal road, and we have in here a variable 30 kilometers zone. So this is the electronic sign in here that tells us that we are now approaching, or we did approach a 30 kilometers zone. In miles, it's about 18 miles zone, I believe. And as you can see, the sidewalks are not very well maintained. These are also very worn out sidewalks. What can I tell about this? Very 1990s design. Actually, it has been resurfaced somewhere in the 1990s. From the beginning of the 1990s to the end of the mid of the 1990s, I believe that was the case. Now on the right you will see a old neighborhood also being designed. I think it was 1955 that they've designed this. It's a social housing project. On the left, a bit earlier, I believe 1953, the white houses are older than the red houses, and you can see also they have been very much influenced by the Gardencity design movement of the 1900s. Now we are getting at a very steep downhill and a very dangerous crossroad also. You can see this right now in here. the only safe way on how to approach this crossing in here is by, using your left leg as a counterweight and then riding on this very dangerous elevated bike lane. So what you can see is also that there are some mysterious looking, how would I say this, white cobblestones coming off from the road. The idea behind this is actually that when cars are by accident getting over the line, they can already feel that they shouldn't be there and they should actually go back to the road. In my idea, that's possibly the reasoning behind this. Now you can also see that they've been rolled out at the places where the entrances are to the homes, like the driveways. And we are now getting at a newly designed, in 2019 designed part of the road. It's a very Dutch styled design, very good actually. The right way on how segregate a bike lane from the road with the right type of buffer, I would say so. It's also elevated, but it's the nice way elevated, right? So it's a not dangerous way elevated. Now we are on the roundabout in here, and we are now turning right to the Europark. And again, we are now seeing the differences between the 1990s and 1980s design and the 2019 designs. Now, what you saw in here was actually an enlightened crossing. And what you also have to do is be careful here because of the fact that there is a towing zone in here. And also cars are usually going to park a little bit more to the right, so on the bike lane itself, because of the fact that it's also very dangerous for drivers to open doors in here, so they prefer to do it a bit more safely. This is not very safe for cyclists, but it's more safer to open doors for the car drivers. Now, this road has no crossings at all, so the only way how to safely cross is actually take your lane and deviate to the left leaning lane to cross the road to the left side. So you have to leave the bike lane, which is allowed. A lot of people may think that this is very dangerous, but this is the only way that I know how to do this in here, because otherwise I would have to stop on the bike lane itself, and that's not really suitable, right? We can see here now that this is a bike lane that has been, has its best time, because this is one of the worst bike lanes in the city. We are now approaching a curve to the right, and after that curve, we are going to have a place where there is going to be a lot of trucks because of the recycling company there. So be aware of this. Now again, in here you can see that there's no crossings in here, no segregated crossings for cyclists or for pedestrians. This is also very dangerous because you have to go a little bit to the right and then go left instead of going, the right way. So, and now we are approaching the recycling center on the right. This is actually the old recycling center there. Now it's part of the city. It's the and here we have the new recycling center. And a bit further, as I told you, we are going to have this place where a lot of trucks are going in and out. You can already see them from the recycling company. This is a very dangerous place for cyclists, so be aware of this. So you can see here the recycling center, and what the next in the next minute going to happen right now is that we have to go to the left again and do the same thing as what happened before. We're now going to the left, and we are now actually approaching the end of this video and the place where we need to be. This is the Rafnusstraat, where we have a lot of, again, a very good way how to explain how a edge road actually really works. This is a edge road. This is not a displaced edge road like it was before, but this is the end of the video. So if you like to subscribe the video, please subscribe the video, and until next time, bye bye.